This is your AESH Weekly News Minute for Tuesday, July 18, 2023. Energy news. Russia's crude price exceeds G7 price cap as market braces for supply crunch. Spot prices of Russia's crude oil this week surpassed the $60 per barrel threshold of the Group of Seven's oil price cap scheme, as Moscow and Riyadh tighten supplies. The G7 introduced its oil price cap mechanism on December 5 to retain Russian flows in the market, while also limiting revenue for the Kremlin's war coffers. EU imports of Moscow's crude were banned that same month. Under the G7 scheme, Western shipping and insurance providers can offer services to non-G7 buyers of Russian crude if the crude oil is acquired at a price below $60 per barrel. Prices for Russia's main export crude, the heavy sulfur, sour Urals, that loads from the Primorsk, Ust-Luga and Novorossiysk ports this week, exceeded that threshold for the first time since the price cap mechanism was implemented. Spot assessments from commodities pricing agency Argus show that Urals prices on July 12 reached $60.18 and $60.78 per barrel for Primorsk and Novorossiysk loaded cargoes, respectively. Logistics and transportation news. XPO launches new multimodal route between Santander and Liverpool. XPO has expanded its multimodal services with the opening of a new route between Santander and Liverpool. The company says the new corridor provides a 25% increase in freight capacity for its customers. XPO currently operates 2 weekly departures from the Port of Santander to the Port of Liverpool. The route is estimated to save more than 2,000 tons of CO2 emissions per trip per year. The equivalent land route between Santander and Liverpool requires trucks to cover more than 1,800 kilometers by road. The fleet used by XPO on this new route is fully equipped with GPS to ensure real-time traceability throughout the journey, confirmation of the arrival of the goods at each port, and final delivery through the Drive XPO system. This route between the Port of Santander and the Port of Liverpool is one of the new multimodal corridors that XPO has recently launched, connecting the Iberian Peninsula with France, Germany and the Benelux countries. Technology news. UN Security Council to hold first talks on AI risks. The United Nations Security Council will hold its first formal discussion on artificial intelligence, AI, this week in New York, with Britain to call for an international dialogue about its impact on global peace and security. Governments around the world are considering how to mitigate the dangers of emerging AI technology, which could reshape the global economy and change the international security landscape. Britain holds the rotating presidency of the UN Security Council this month and has been seeking a global leadership role in AI regulation. British Foreign Secretary James Cleverly will chair the discussion on Tuesday. In June, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres backed a proposal by some artificial intelligence executives for the creation of an international AI watchdog body like the International Atomic Energy Agency. Finance news. Credit Suisse inquiry will keep files secret for 50 years. A parliamentary investigation into the collapse of Credit Suisse will keep its files closed for 50 years, according to a parliamentary committee document, a level of secrecy that has triggered concern among Swiss historians. The document means the investigating commission would hand over its files to the Swiss Federal Archives after a longer gap than the usual 30 years to ensure high levels of confidentiality apply to the investigation, which has generated huge public interest. The investigation will focus on the activities of the Swiss government, financial regulator and central bank in the run-up to the emergency takeover of Credit Suisse by UBS in March. The investigation is only the 5th of its kind in the country's modern history, and the committee of lawmakers conducting it has sweeping powers to call on the Swiss cabinet, finance ministry and other state bodies. After the completion of the investigation, the files shall be handed over to the Federal Archives and shall be subject to an extended protection period of 50 years, the committee said. Global news headlines. Swiss watchmaker Swatch sues Malaysia for seizure of Pride watches. Swiss watchmaker Swatch Group, ER.S, has filed a lawsuit against the Malaysian government for confiscating rainbow-colored watches that celebrate LGBT rights in an act the company says has damaged its reputation. Homosexuality is a crime in Muslim-majority Malaysia, and rights groups have warned of growing intolerance in the country towards the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender and queer community. In May, Malaysian authorities confiscated watches from Swatch's Pride collection because of the presence of the letters LGBTQ on the watches, the Home Minister said. Home Ministry officials illegally seized 172 watches from 16 outlets, Swatch said in court documents seen by Reuters. The lawsuit, filed on June 24 at the Kuala Lumpur High Court, was first reported on Monday by the Malay Mail, a Malaysian news website. This has been your AESH Weekly News Minute for Tuesday, July 18, 2023. If you want more global energy news and real-time alerts, hit the subscribe button now and follow us on social media.